Now I'm going to kick things back over to Aja to talk about essay number 3.
Okay, so this is the classic why major essay with, of course, a little bit of UPenn spice thrown into the mix. So you really need to articulate and motivate the reasons why you want to pursue your intended major. And you don't have to limit yourself to just a single major or field. Penn really values interdisciplinary thinking and application. They will not stop talking about their 4 school, 1 university policy. So they encourage you to branch out, try courses in other schools. If you're not familiar with Penn school structure, there are 4 colleges: arts and sciences, Wharton business school, engineering, and nursing. So even if you're applying to one of those schools, you can dip your toe into other schools. They really value interdisciplinary education there. So you don't have to limit yourself when you're writing your why major essay. But just because you have the intellectual freedom doesn't necessarily, mean you can be all over the place. Specificity is key. You want to find and articulate unique approaches at Penn, and that means doing your research. As I mentioned, start with the departmental website. That way you can talk about something specific that you're interested in and that you want to do, and it's shown that you've taken the time and put the effort in to do some background research on the school. However, the word intellectual is giving you some freedom to extend beyond the classroom setting in your response. So there are tons of other ways you can explore your interests that is not just in the classroom, whether that's through clubs, whether that's through community programming, and all of those, again, you're going to have to do some digging on the website. So I really, really encourage you to do that. One common mistake is focusing too much on the Penn opportunities at the expense of illustrating your own interests and connections to the field. So one common mistake I see a lot is name dropping. You've done all this really great research and you want to show that you've done this really great research, and your essay just becomes listing a bunch of really cool Penn professors who are teaching really cool things. But none of that is helpful if you don't contextualize it. So when you're writing these essays, one way that I find it really helpful to structure it is, half looking forward, half looking back. So let's say you want to study biology. Looking forward, what is studying biology going to look like at Penn? How does that connect? And then looking back, why have you been interested in biology in the past? What does your interest in biology look like? And why is that motivating you to kind of do biology at Penn? So that's kind of one way you can help tie your interest in something you want to do in the future in Penn back to something you've done in the past to kind of help motivate why you want to do this thing to begin with.
Yeah.
A really great way to make your profile stand out is to bring in your intellectual passions outside of your main field, if you can do that effectively given the kind of space constraints. So if you're able to kind of tie in things that are not necessarily, I'll keep using biology as an example, are not related to biology. Maybe, you've done computational modelings of like environmental change or something like that. That is not a great example. Can you tell I didn't end up being a biology major? So you want to be able to, if you can tie in your other interests, kind of sprinkle them around your main interest. Again, because Penn really does value intellectual diversity in their students. But again, you are limited by words. And I always say it's much better to give one idea the space it needs and develop it fully than include a bunch of small underdeveloped ideas. For these specialized programs, if you're not familiar with them, Penn offers a ton of dual degree programs. I think there are 7 or 8, which basically offer you a degree in 2 of Penn schools at the same time. So, you get a degree in business and a degree in engineering, for example, or a degree in nursing and a degree in the College of Arts and Sciences, things like that. There is usually mandatory essays for those, but in addition, you're going to have to write your academic interest essay specific to that school. So you really need to make sure that when you're applying to these programs that are by definition interdisciplinary, you're being unique and adding a unique perspective that's going to differentiate you from these other applicants.